Hello art enjoyers. Today's tutorial is about coloring skin. We will be using this Izuku Midoriya drawing today. Let's color. Well, before that, let me show you which colors I will be using in this tutorial. So, with all the preparations done, let's begin. First, I outline the areas where the shadows will be. I highly suggest that while outlining, you use the lightest color. After we have outlined the shadow area, we are going to make a base layer. This layer will give us, as the name suggests, the base of the shadow. After we are done coloring the first layer, we are going to use a darker tone where the shadow is darker, as you guys can see at this reference. This process might take a while, as the more you take your time, the better the colors will blend. After this process, your coloring might be a bit messy, but don't worry, now we're gonna use the first color that we used to blend it and then it will look better. Quick side note, while coloring you should always use a circular motion. What this means is that you should always try to make a circle while coloring. It could look like a strange circle, but always a circle. And by the way, I am skipping because I'm just coloring for like 10 to 15 minutes straight. So now that we are done with the shadows, we're gonna use a lighter color than the base layer so that we can blend it with our base skin tone. I like to have a smooth transition between the shadows and the light areas. But as we all know, anime does not use that style. They keep them separate. Now for the effects, so we will use the same cyan to give the shadow some effect. After that, finally the shadows are done. As in the video, it might seem like 2 minutes, but I have been coloring for a while. Now let's get to the normal area. We are gonna use the lightest skin tone as Deku is a white character. I hope I'm not offending anyone. We will fully color the entire area. Now that I am done with the base layer, we are gonna use white for blending. As you guys can see, the reference image is taken at a night time. With that, we are almost done with coloring the entire skin. We just need to blend the shadows with the highlights so that it looks smoother. So, it's the time of the video where I want to have a small talk. So the last times we talked about how high the expectations are for humans, and the other time we talked about you should not actually lose your spark or joy for anyone or anything. So this time let's talk about flexing. Flexing is bad and not in a way that you would think, because normal people think like flexing is bad because it makes you seem arrogant, but I don't think it like that. I think the things we flex about are 90% of the time materialistic things. So that's cars, houses, watches. And now, yeah, I'm trying to be an art YouTuber. You guys might say, like, oh, when he's famous, he might flex on someone as well. I mean, you never know. People change when they see fame or money. But then again, as you can see at my channel, I have around 700 shorts posted in the last 3 years. And I've gotten something. I've around 9k subs almost. But I've failed the last 3 years. So why am I telling you this? Because most of the time, it's some famous human that flexes, or I mean, let me not group people like that. Let me rephrase that. In my opinion, a guy who flexes is a bit insecure about himself because they need to show how dominant they are and how good they were at something. Because, as I said in the beginning, it's 90% of the time materialistic things. Now, am I actually qualified to talk about this topic? I don't think I am, just like the other topic. The other topics, I was qualified enough because I lived some life. But now, some guy, some fucking crypto billionaire might come to my video and say you're poor, you're not rich, you cannot actually talk about that because you don't even have that to flex. Which they will be right, but then again. But in my opinion, it's actually wrong. I'm actually pretty grateful enough to have have everything I wanted. My family was a good family. They helped me, they support me every single time. But even when I got things that I wanted, I had a lot of times where I was like, damn, I have an empty life. Well, maybe it's because of my medical history. I'm sorry, I'm sick right now as well. But one thing I learned because of all those problems that I have, this might sound a bit corny, but I'll still say it. In my opinions, the bonds you actually create, like real bonds, real friendship, a real relationship. I never had a real relationship, so I won't know that. But I had great friends. Are is way better than any materialistic thing can buy. I mean, I've heard some people say money can buy friends, but then again, I would not want to buy a friend. I'm happy if I die tomorrow knowing I was a good human being, than become a rich, arrogant human being or famous, arrogant human being. But that's my opinion. I won't be doing everything for money. So, sponsorship deals, I don't know if I will ever have that. This might sound dumb. I might not even go there, but then again, I'm just talking. I will not be accepting everything. I just want to have a stable life and have a good community where I can go live and maybe talk. And that's what I will go for. I hope to inspire some humans with my words someday and with my art, I guess. And I hope to see you guys in the comments. Anyways, back to the video. I forgot to color the mouth in the eye tutorial, so this will be a quick bonus in this tutorial. We're gonna use dark gray, white, and some red and pink colors. As you guys can see, we are done with the skin color tutorial. I won't be making a hair tutorial. If you want that, comment that down in the comments. See you at the next video. Back out.